guys, welcome back. I got the parts to see if I can fix this spray gun. Let me show you what it's doing, and then we'll take it apart and we'll see if we can fix the seal on it. And then I want to show you how to properly put the gun back together, because I see a lot of people put the gun together wrong, and I just want to show the better way to put it together. But you can hear the air leaking. So what it's doing is it's leaking out of the back of here, right where my index finger is. So we're getting air out of here, which means the seal that goes around the needle is shot. So let's go take it apart and see if we can put the new seal in and fix that problem. So the first thing you want to do when you take the gun apart, okay? You don't want to take the front of the gun apart first. First thing you want to do is get your needle out of here. So we're going to take that out first. So we'll take this bottom knob out. It has a spring. So you have your spring in your thing, and then you pull your needle out. This one might be a little stuck, because I did try to tighten that nut up, which that won't be the case normally. I just tried to tighten the nut to see if I can get it to stop, but it didn't stop leaking. So you slide your needle out first, okay? That's very important. If you don't do that, and you could take this outer part off, which is also stuck. You could take this outer part off, but not the inside part. So just keep that in mind. Jeez. Apparently I haven't had this loose in a while. All right, let me go get something. Actually, if I have a pair of pliers I can lightly use. Might be able to without scratching it all up. I thought I had this apart the other day, but there it is. Okay, so this is the part you do not want to take out if the needle's still in there. If you spin this with the needle in there, you're going to run a groove into the tip of your needle, and it's going to ruin your needle. So don't do that. That's a very important step. So now we got that front off, we can get this off, because we already have the needle out. And that just comes out there. And then we have to take this little nut out right here. And this is where that seal goes. And that seal is kind of stuck in there. You need a little pick tool to get it out. So we want to go in here and see if we can't get this out. You'll usually end up ruining the seal when you take it out. But you want to be careful not to scratch anything in there. And this can be a pain in the butt. Sometimes you could spin it out, because there's threads in there. It's spinning out right now. But just from me prying on it, I completely destroyed it. These don't normally come out unless you have to replace them. Okay, that's out. And then there is a little tiny one behind it. This little guy right here. So this comes out as well. All right. And as you can tell, I destroyed the inside of it where the needle passes through, prying that out of there. These are actually threaded. I wasn't sure. No, it's not supposed to be threaded. I don't know. Let's look. The new one doesn't show threads on it. But anyways, they give you a new nut as well, which you don't really need the nut, but we'll just put all 3 pieces in. And then we'll put the gun back together and see if it leaks. If it still leaks, then it's something else, but I'm pretty confident this should fix the problem. So we got to put our little seal in first, then that one, and then our nut. And you don't want to tighten the nut too tight, because if you tighten it real tight, and you want to carefully set this down. If you tighten the nut too tight, the trigger will it'll hold itself open when you pull it. So you don't want to do that. Okay, that's in there. And then this goes with the little bevel towards the front of the gun. Jesus. I think what happens over time of cleaning it with lacquer thinner is it breaks down this plastic type material. Okay, now we want to tighten this up to seat it down in there, but not super tight. And I'm just using all the tools that come with these spray guns. So I'm going to actually tighten this down a little bit and then back it off a little bit. Just want to make sure it's seated down in there. Alright, it's not super tight, so I'm just going to back it off a quarter turn. So now, if you're cleaning your spray gun, this is the point where you start cleaning. You have this all cleaned out. You can take your little brush in there and clean out any debris or leftover paint. Same thing with the tip. Any of your little holes, make sure they're all clear and open. This especially as well, clean inside. Make sure all your holes around here are clean. Now, you want to put this in before you put your needle in. I see a lot of guys stick this needle in and then put the back on and then put this front tip on. If you put, like I said, if you put this front tip on with that needle in there and you start spinning it, you can actually put a groove in that needle and ruin the needle. So you don't want to do that. So now we're going to tighten this up. You don't have to go super tight with it, just basically until it stops and then just a tiny little bit more. Now we have that piece in, we could stick our needle back in. Boy, that's tight. I don't want to go in. Let me loosen that nut up a little bit. I wonder, I mean, I think I ordered the right size parts, but you never know. So let's loosen this up. I mean, I could see through it. There it goes. Okay, so that's in there. So now we can put the back on with our spring, and I'll show you how to set it. So let's get it started. So you want to open your trigger, full trigger, okay? You want to squeeze it as far as you can. So let's squeeze this in some. So we're squeezed as far as we can. Now you want to keep backing this off until the trigger stops moving backwards. So let me crank it in. So now you can see the trigger is not going to want to press all the way. It's not going all the way. So you hold pressure on it and just start backing this thing off until the trigger stops moving. Then just bring it until you feel tension on it because you're holding the trigger back all the way. So that's all we need to do with that. I think I should probably tighten this a little bit. Okay, let's put this back on. And let's go out there, plug it in, and see if it leaks still. Let's go give it a shot. it's still leaking. Okay, so that's not the problem. So where is the problem? Certainly feels like, seems like that's the problem. Let me pause this for a second and try, let me go get the thing and try tightening it up a little bit. If that doesn't work, then I'll have to look farther into it. No. Unless the needle's worn out. We could try a different needle in it. Okay, so what I did was I pulled the trigger off. And now I'm going to take the needle out. I think I might have figured out what it is. I'm going to pull the needle out. This part right here that the trigger uses to depress, I think there's supposed to be an O-ring in there. And I am wondering if the O-ring's not gone from lacquer thinner. From washing the guns repeatedly, lacquer thinner sitting in there and just wearing the ring away. Now I can't really see in there. So this is the copper piece right here that the needle slides through. But I can't really see in there very well to see if there's an O-ring in there. But when I look at the directions, you probably won't be able to see it on the camera. But part number 10 and 11 are both O-rings. Number 10 is an O-ring and number 11 is an O-ring. It shows two number 11s. But I don't know that you can get this apart. Maybe if I take this out, if this comes out. I've never gotten this far into a gun before, but I just figured why not look at it and see if there's anything we could do to fix it. Because you never know. I mean, why throw away a gun? I know it's not a very expensive gun or anything like that, but why throw it away if it's something that could be fixed by a dumb O-ring? So here's an O-ring on the back of this. See that one? So there's an O-ring on the back of that. Ooh, I see an O-ring. Okay, here's a spring. Okay, then there's this front piece right here. It's like a piece of plastic. So this slides up to that, like that. Then there's this piece of plastic here, and I wonder if that is the O-ring. If they're calling that an O-ring. Okay, there's a threaded piece in there we could take out. Okay, so I need a little flathead screwdriver to take that apart. But there's an O-ring here. We have like a plastic plunger type thing here. So let me go grab a screwdriver and we're going to spin that out. We're going to get into this thing and look and see if it's... Okay, let's pull this piece out now. Who knows, this might help somebody in the future if they have a stupid leak or something. And they don't want to buy a new spray gun, or if you're, let's say you're in the middle of a paint job and this thing starts leaking on you, wouldn't it be nice to be able to see if you could fix this yourself? So this comes out. And I don't see any other O-rings in there. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe it's plastic? I don't know. Yes, there is a plastic one in there. Question is how do you get it out of there? There it comes. So this O-ring right here would be my guess as to why it's leaking. So this slides into it. Feels tight though. Feels tight. It's a nice tight fit around it. I wish I knew what the O-ring kind of looked like. Is it like a rubber O-ring? Like on the back of the gun? It sure looks like it in the picture. I don't see anything else in there. Where'd that go? Uh-oh. Lost it. There it is. Down here. So it goes this way. So this must go this way. It's definitely a tight fit. And drop that piece back in there. Hopefully the right way. Okay, that's seated back in there. I mean, could it get a rubber O-ring? I don't know. Could we try to put one on there? We could. Is it going to work? I don't know. I mean, I have a whole O-ring kit here with real tiny ones. I wonder, I don't know. Unless I had all the parts here and what they looked like, I would know. You know what? I could take apart this other gun. I got another one. And that O-ring does fit around that. Problem is can I get it in there? Maybe. It's worth a shot. What's the worst that's going to happen? It doesn't work. But there could have been one in there. I mean, it sure looks like it in the picture. And it does look like you could take more of this mechanism apart in here if you had a special tool to do it. But I don't think I have that tool. Okay, this is not wanting to tighten up, and that could be because of the O-ring that is stuck in there. So maybe it doesn't take an O-ring. There it goes. Okay, that's in there. So then this goes back in this direction here. Then the spring. Then this piece. And this has an O-ring in here. Has a brass, looks like a brass washer. And there is a rubber O-ring. So it does have a rubber O-ring. So maybe that did have one in the front and maybe it deteriorated. I mean, it's worth a shot. Either it's going to work or it's not going to work. And like I said, I know that this is a cheap spray gun. I'm just doing it for the simple fact to just see if I can fix it. It's really all it boils down to. Just curious to see if it's fixable. Now, I'm not going to tighten this yet. I'm going to kind of stick this needle in here to kind of align it. And now I'll tighten it. Because I'm not worried if I score it, it's not going to score back there. Okay, that feels good. So then this piece goes back in like this. But yeah, we'll put this in first. Now we gotta get it around that O-ring. That O-ring's probably gonna be a little stiff. And I don't know if that's gonna make the trigger hard to push. Probably. There it goes. I mean, feels good. Not wiggling around like it was before. So now we got that back in, we can stick this on. So it might literally be a 10-cent O-ring if this fixes it. And this O-ring kit came from Harbor Freight. If that's what fixes it, I'm not sure yet. So now we can stick this back in, slide that up, put our spring on. Can't set trigger yet because we don't have the trigger on. So we got to put the trigger back on. And how the trigger goes on is it's literally a pin, which, where the heck did that go? Did I drop it on the floor? Probably. It's a little pin that holds the trigger on. Where did it go? Here it is. Okay, so this goes through the trigger. You put the trigger in here. We slide the pin in this side. Doesn't matter which side. Goes in, goes through, and then there's this little E-clip that slides through the groove of the pin, and that's what's going to hold it on. Okay, that's back on. Let's go test it. Feels all right. Come on, work. No! Still leaking. Leaking worse. Try one more thing. One more try here. And if not, oh well. To the garbage it goes. That's why I like these guns. You use them for a while, when they break, you just get rid of them. Not the end of the world. I don't think there's an O-ring like inside of that. Shows it on the outside. You know what? It does show one sliding in from this way too. It does show one on this side. Looks like it in the picture, like it's sliding in this way. Just like that, but I don't know. I don't think that's really going to make a difference because it's out too far. No, that's not going to do anything because it just goes out with the piece. The only other thing I can think of is it's that plastic one that's in there. Let's take it apart one more time. Give it one more shot. That fell out. I put it on wrong. Did I? There's another O-ring right here. Could this be the old O-ring? Okay, so what did I do here wrong? Because this, I just found this O-ring in there. And it's definitely chewed up. So I wonder, where did it come from though? Because I thought I put the other one under this nut. I'm positive I did. Unless I'm losing my mind. No, the O-ring's in there. The one I put in. That's strange. I'm confused. This is definitely an old O-ring. It's definitely worn out. This So let me put this one in. I swear I didn't see it in there. Maybe this one I put in is, maybe this one's too fat. So if that goes there, this would push against it. Hold on. All right. So I found an O-ring in this kit that is the same size as this smashed down one. Just drop that. Just a little confused. I don't really want to take a new one apart, gun apart, if I don't have to, because I don't want to ruin it. But you would think that this is fixable. Just the drawing is a little confusing. I think I put this piece in backwards. That's what I did. This was in backwards. I think these touched like this. Thought it went this way. But now that I'm looking at the drawing, I think I put it in backwards. No, I put it in the right way. I definitely put it in the right way. Number 13, sealing washer. Doesn't say O-ring, it says a sealing washer. Number 13. And that looks like it goes between number 14. 14 is the needle sleeve plug. Where's that little nut that I take in and out? 16. I don't know if this is boring to you guys, but thought it'd be kind of cool to see if I can possibly fix this. I'll bet you there's an O-ring that goes right there. According to the drawing, it's tough to say. Looks like number 11 goes there, and that would be an O-ring. So there's an O-ring that goes in there, and maybe that's what I saw. Maybe it fell down in there when I was putting it back together. So this O-ring goes in here, just like this. This is a new one. So if that goes there, then this is supposed to seal up against that. This way, I believe. Then it shows another O-ring, 17 and 18. 17 air valve spring, 18 flat washer, which is this. There's our flat washer. Then 19 is the O-ring. So that's that O-ring right there. So that O-ring goes in here. This flat washer goes on there. So that's in there. Then this will work like this, and this will slide into that piece. And that O-ring is supposed to seal around it. And that O-ring doesn't seem like it's the hole's too big. And that could be why it was leaking, because that old one. So let's try a smaller one of these, because that old one could swell up from lacquer thinner. So we have this part, O-ring here, we have this part, then we have an O-ring inside, then we have a flat washer, which is number 11, and then it shows number 18 is a flat washer. And then it shows another O-ring, number 19. And there was no other O-ring on that I could see. So they're saying another O-ring right there. And then this spring. And this. I mean, feels good. I don't know. Just leave that like that. Showing an O-ring before the spring. And then we have that other stuff already together. That's already back in there. So in theory, this should go in like this. And that should go in like that. Tight. It's definitely tight. Put the trigger back on. Probably still gonna leak. Give it a shot. I mean, it's all we can do. No leak. Fixed it, guys. O-rings in there. You saw how I did it. So basically we saved this $80 spray gun for me literally throwing it in a garbage can over a 10-cent O-ring. Didn't need those front parts, which is good. I just wasn't sure why I ordered them. You see the trigger's a little slow on the release, and I think that's just because that O-ring's really tight. Maybe once some lacquer thinner gets through it, it's gonna stop. So, that's awesome. So basically, if you go to Harbor Freight and you buy this O-ring kit here, you could probably fix quite a bunch of different spray guns for next to nothing. I don't remember what this kit cost. I've had this kit forever. This is a new O-ring here. This is a bigger size. So the O-ring size that I used was, let's see here, 007. It was a 5 30-seconds inner diameter, 9 30-seconds outer diameter. And then section 1/16 of an inch. I don't know if that's the thickness of it or what, but I have a ton of these. I mean, this will last for years. But anyways, you can see how filthy this box is. It's been around forever, but I bought this at Harbor Freight years and years ago. But we just fixed a gun that I literally was going to throw in the garbage can. For really, it wouldn't have cost me anything if I didn't order those other parts. I paid like 10 bucks for those other parts. But it is what it is. I mean, not a big deal. I got to keep the new parts in there because I screwed up the old one getting it out. I'm going to save this other nut. So, you know, don't be afraid to take this stuff apart, guys. You know, if this is a $1,000 solder gun or $500 solder gun, I would do the same thing. You know, why not? Why send it off if it's something you could fix yourself? You know what I mean? Like here's this is a SATA 3000. Okay, so I would do the same thing to this. I would tear this thing apart if I had to. This has like a roll pin in here that you would have to get out in order to take this apart, but you could still do it. I mean, especially like on a cheap gun. If you're willing to spend a little time and tinkering around, you can fix this stuff. So, all right, guys, that was just a quick video. I wanted to really stress the point of putting your needle in and not having your front cap. Make sure your front cap's on before you put your needle in, because if you stick the needle in and then spin that in, you're going to ruin your needle. So, all right, guys, hopefully this helps people out, and it makes people want to try to fix something. I mean, I use these all the time. I have 4 of them, 5 of them. If this repair didn't work, it was no harm in trying. It's an $80 spray gun. I would have just thrown it in the garbage. I just really like the way these spray. I'm doing $10,000 paint jobs with an $80 spray gun, guys. You don't need to have a $500 or $1,000 spray gun. If you find one that you like the way it sprays and the way it feels and the spray pattern's what you want, go for it. I've had these SATA guns for 20 some years and they're getting worn out. They need rebuilt. I probably should order rebuild kits for them and just rebuild them myself rather than sending them off to get them fixed. I probably will get them. I probably will rebuild them at some point, but I just know like the spray pattern's not that great on them anymore. The spray pattern's a lot wider on this than this. Now, is that because this just never had a huge spray pattern? I just don't remember. You know, it's been years. So, all right, guys, that's going to end this video. Also, I hit 3,000 subscribers today. I'm going to be doing the subscriber giveaway probably this weekend. I got to download an app to be able to do it. So make sure you go to that video, leave a comment on that video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and you'll be entered in the chance to win. And I'm giving away one of these spray guns here, a brand new one, and a t-shirt, whatever size that you wear. I believe I have medium up to 3X. So, and I also have them in blue and orange. So you got choices there. So make sure you go to that video, leave a comment. You can say hi, you can say whatever you want, and make sure you're subscribed, and then you'll be entered in this giveaway. So thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Oh, you know what? Before we quit, real quick, let me show you these parts. I painted these over the weekend. Remember, these were the fisheye parts. Look at how beautiful they are, how nice and flat they are. They turned out real nice. I don't have all my lights on in the spray booth right now, but let's come over to this angle here. I can't really show it in the picture, but it's nice and flat. I mean, very, very minimal dirt in this, but very happy with these parts. I am prepping more parts for paint this weekend. I don't know if I'm gonna try to, the door's sticking from the humidity. I'm gonna try to get them prepped tonight. I'm working on them, as you can see, fixing some little dings and dents and mishaps in them. Didn't video this stuff. This is kind of boring work. It's just sanding down and fixing little nicks and stuff. So make sure you guys stay tuned for more videos on painting the dually. Once these parts are all painted, we got to focus on getting the jams, engine compartment done so that we can reassemble the body, the whole front half, and get this outer shell painted so that we can get it rubbed out, put together, and get it out of here. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you this weekend.